Alright, yeah, so the Finder tool, I will send it over to Mike, and I'll make sure that he, so email Mike about, this was Mike Pierce, and I did email him. So I'll send that over to Mike in case he doesn't have it, and I'll make sure he puts it up and puts a note so that you can have that tool guy. And the second question, I'm not sure which exact plugins you're talking about, guy. I guess it depends what plugin. Oh, and for this question, last time we talked about using the PBN boost on existing URLs. You can use the video part on any URLs, on any existing URLs. You just add that category to the shortcode. Okay, so if you have something in a category, you would add that to the shortcode, and that will start showing up. You would set a page as the home page, and then you just put all the categories there, like I show how to do. But as far as social explosion, you cannot use that on existing URLs, but that will be coming in about a month, he said, I believe. So that hopefully clears up that. Alright, let me see if we got any questions here. Oh, you can't see my screen. Thank you. There we go. Let me re-bring up Guy's questions here. Sorry about that. I'm glad someone pointed that out. Alright, so yeah, Guy's first question was just about the Finder tool, like when we add outbound authority links to our posts, and I'm going to send that over to Mike to make sure he has it. And the second question was which network Empire plugins do we install on our money sites and which do we not install? And I'm not sure what plugins he's talking about. I'm guessing he's talking about Social Explosion and the video crack and stuff. For my money sites, I'm going to start using probably Social Explosion. But the whole video thing, it depends what type of site it is. If I'll use that, like the thing that changes videos every 24 hours and keeps adding content. It depends on the type of site whether I'll use that or not. But Social Explosion, I would say, yeah, you definitely use on your money sites if you have it. All right. So let me go back and get these questions again. And thank you to who brought that out to me. Philip King. Thank you, Philip. All right, Ted. I would save that for Josh because he's a lot better at client stuff than me. I don't even really deal with clients anymore. I let Mike and them deal with it, and then they just kind of tell me what needs to be ranked. So, I deal more with the SEO side now. From another Ted. Yes, you can, Ted. Yes, you can. I would say they're not as reliable as if you know how to use GSA, but they still I still use them. They still work. I have videos from a long, long time ago that still rank from them, like in Sandy versus P90X. I haven't touched this video in so long. And here it is right here at number 4. I think I spent like 20 bucks on it from Fiverr gigs. So it still works. You just have to really switch up the anchor text the right way, the way we show. Use a lot of different anchor text because that is playing a part now. But yeah, you can definitely still use them. Just make sure that when you submit the gig, they're aware that you want, some anchor text differential and all that stuff. From Truman. Yeah, you don't need to really send branded anchor text, Truman. When I start, as you see in the sink or swim method, I pretty much go right to money keywords usually, and I just switch it up a little bit each time so I don't have the same anchor text twice. As for as long as I can at least. I might use branded anchor text down the line. One of the reasons I like using expired domains because they already have a lot of branded anchor text, are the ones I go after. So that's the reason I like using expired domains for money sites. In a lot of cases, they already have all that branded anchor text, which can help. But for the most part, when I'm linking for my PBN, I'm doing all money keywords. I just switch it up a little bit each time. As far as homepage and inner page, it doesn't. You don't really have to send to one or the other. I like doing inner pages more than the home page, just because if the home page gets hit by something, the whole site goes. But we know how to do it, so sending to the home page is fine. The way things are going right now, and the way we have a grip on SEO, we're not going to get hit with anything. Because it's been a while now that we've been doing this, and we haven't had trouble with it. Now, when we were using tools like Magic Submitter, I would say inner pages is 100%, but now that we're using blog networks, we're a lot safer to go to the home page only, even if we want to, because we control those links and we're not sending as many links. They're high quality links. So from Ann, yeah, absolutely, Ann, definitely, no doubt about that one. From Danielle, I explained in the video, Danielle. It's you actually set a page as the home page. It's a you set as a static home page for an actual page, not a post. And then you put shortcode on that page for whatever posts you want to show, or whatever categories. And I explained that in the video where, if you have a category that has 3 posts in it you want to show, you would set the quantity to 3 in the shortcode for that post ID. But I explained that all in the videos. Check it out and let me know. And yeah, Brian, thank you for that. Bob. Good morning, Bob. Good morning. GSA stands for... I am not sure. Google search engine something, I think? I'm not sure. I forget. Alright, from Danielle. Yeah, absolutely, Danielle. That's what I rank all my stuff with. I make tens and tens of thousands a month with SEO, and that's what I use as PBN. So, and we got tons of people reminding me about my screen. So thank you. I wouldn't say you need to, Danielle, but yeah, it can still help. Still getting those links from YouTube and all that stuff. So, it can only help. But yeah, Social Explosion definitely makes it easier. From Ted. The only thing that I make sure my PBNs have, Ted, are usually Axomet to block comment spam, just to help with the server. Link Juice Keeper to keep all the links from non-existing pages going to the home page. And then Spider Spanker. Those are my 3 main ones. Other than that, if you're using the PBN boost method, of course, the Social Explosion plugin and Video Kraken, and the page post plugin. But those 3 first ones I mentioned are my 3, that I always have. From Janelle. You don't have to use silos on PBNs, Janelle. It's just you're just using those to link to your money sites and help them rank. All right, so don't worry about siloing your PBNs. And I used unique content on them, Janelle. That's just me. Alright, yes, I thought you were talking about them, guy. So I covered that. From Danielle. No, because I want links coming from a lot of different sites, Daniel. I don't want 40 links coming from just 5 sites. Because that they look at that like how many sites does this site have linking to it. The more sites you have linking to it, as long as they're quality, the better. And as long as your anchor text is split up, of course. From Gavin. I like to make my articles about the same topic, Gavin, usually. Almost all the time. So if I'm linking to something about jewelry, it'll be an article about jewelry. Or at least something very similar. Maybe what I might do is like maybe an article about money, and then I might mention jewelry in it and link to a jewelry site, but I try to make it have at least something to do with what I'm linking to. From Ken. I believe what you're asking is if you can link to YouTube videos, Ken, and you can from a PBN. It will help it rank. So let me get a new screenshot. From Danielle. Yeah, you can do that right away. My building sites with posts. I usually, for my money sites, I usually do one post and the rest pages, Danielle. That's just me. It's not really like a big deal whether you use page or post. I don't think so. But that's just the way I've always done it. From Gary. By retheming, what I mean, Gary, is just, if a site used to be about fitness and you want to make it about dogs or something, that would be retheming it. You know what I mean? Just, you're picking a different theme than what the site used to be about, which is fine. You can do that. Of course, you want to consider what the domain name is. You don't want to make a site about cats when it's dogs.com, obviously. But retheming just means, just kind of using it for a different site than what it used to be about, or a different topic. From Ken. I don't do expired domains with no links, Ken. I would say age is a factor, but I don't really consider it that much. It's more about the links for me. So, from Brian. Yeah, once my sites reach the top, Brian, I let them sit. That's just me. From Claude. Depends how many links she has, Claude. If she has like a decent amount of links, like I would say over just an estimate. If she has like over 80 referring domains around there, it depends on the quality of the links too. I would say she's probably penalized, and it also depends how long ago you put in that link, and what the anchor text was. So it's hard to say. I would have to see it, but most likely, if you link to it and it didn't move at all, it's penalized, I would say. I'm guessing it has a decent amount of referring domains, which means she probably has too many low-quality links. That's my guess. You can probably send one more PBN link and see what happens, but my guess is it's penalized, even though I don't know too many more details. Alright, from Farron. Magic Smitter, for me personally, if I'm using I'm just going to outsource it, just because my PBN's so strong and PBNs work so well. I don't really need Magic Submitter myself, so I would outsource it. Yeah, you don't need to use GSA. That's just another tool. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I didn't have GSA when I was starting, so. Yeah, I would definitely. If you're gonna pick between like PBNs and like GSA, I would no doubt about it go PBNs. All right, so, and because you can always outsource the GSA stuff and Magic's Mirror stuff, because that that mostly helps you rank your social stuff. So if you're gonna be using that like on the side, just outsource it. That's my take on it, because you're not gonna be using that as much as your PBNs, or they're not as important. Because I shouldn't say they're not as important. Just your PBN is yours. Like you own it. You can use it for whatever you want. Once you buy the domain, it's yours. You don't gotta really pay a monthly fee on it. You gotta pay a yearly fee, which is nothing, and hosting, but that's it. That domain is yours, and it's an asset. So, from Janelle. Yeah, again, that depends on the type of site. Like for KLCast and Gold IRA custodians, Janelle, I probably wouldn't use it myself, just because it doesn't make sense for me to use them for those. I can just add content. So for those types of money sites, I wouldn't use it. And you might even want to ask Mike Pierce, like, when is the best time to use the blog content as for a money site, like where you're adding the kind of like the random videos. Because I wouldn't use that on too many of my money sites. I would use that more for my PBNs. I'm not sure what he does with it, but he might have a better idea than me on it. I am not sure, Bill. It might be a trouble with hosting or something. I would contact the hosting provider. From Philip. Yeah, vStyle I don't have tons of experience with, but I think he said he was asking about social. And video from Ken. Yeah, but I wouldn't go off that alone, Ken. I would still buy domains with good links to them like we teach. Magic Submitter I use just to my Web 2.0s from CB. I wouldn't worry about that, CB. I wouldn't do that. From Ken. What I'm talking about here is just ranking for like the longer tail ones, Ken. So if you're trying to rank for like a whole bunch of like lose weight fast keywords, I wouldn't go after this first. I would probably go after like maybe something like lose weight fast for women over 40. Okay, because this is very targeted. It's a lot easier to rank for, and it's targeted traffic. So this is going to bring you people that you know exactly what they want. All right. Whereas this keyword, it's going to help you rank for that a little bit. It's going to help you move up for this, and you can kind of spread out your anchor text before you start hitting this. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, from Tom James. I like it, Tom. And that's fine. The domain doesn't need to have tons of links to it. We can use our PBN to power it. But I like the branded approach too. It doesn't have to be a powerful expired domain for me to like it. And I have used sites like this to go with. And what I like that you mentioned is clean and 10 years old. All right. And I know I said age doesn't have a lot to do with like PBN's power, but for a money site power, I think it's different because For PBN, we're kind of trying to pass on link power. For a money site, I think age is considered more. All right, so I think age is considered more for a money site than a PBN site passing link juice, if that makes sense. So I still want to get anyone confused with my previous comment. So I like this, where it's one thing I like most is clean and 10 years old. Okay, clean is the biggest thing. It's clean and it's old. So I like it, Tom. Um, let's see. So if we had like DelawareSEO.com, I would probably just do the city name, Tom. I wouldn't do SEO again because we already got that in the domain name, so that's already being taken care of. So I would just go like city, like Wilmington, you know, whatever cities you want to do. And then if it's towns too, like I live in Ellesmere, which is a town in Wilmington, I would just do like that. Okay, so this would be for Wilmington SEO, this would be for Ellesmere SEO. So that's how I would set it up. From Jeff. Nah, I use the same Ask the Met key for everything, Jeff. I wouldn't worry about that. I don't think they have the ability to look into that. It's not their service. From Mike. Mike, anything from Crock Service is good. Crock Service. That's who I used when I did Fiverr gigs. From Paul. Paul, there is a way to make the videos not as blurry. Email David at omgmachines.com. And anyone that's having a problem with that, David at omgmachines.com. There's a way to get them in high def where they'll become totally clear for you. From Grant. I believe so. Yes, I'm pretty sure, Grant. Almost positive. But again, the person asked that to for sure would be David. But I'm almost positive they'll stay in there. For Mike, you just link to the video URL. So, like for this Site and Sandy video, I would just click on this and just copy this right here.
Hey everyone, my name is Greg Moore.
So I would just link to this URL right here, Mike. Yeah, Mike again. Yes, yep. And let me get a new screenshot to make sure I got all your questions. From Paul. No follow just means like the person set it so the link doesn't really get credit, kind of put it simply. You can look up no follow definition in Google, but basically no follow means I usually don't look at the no follow links. An image alt means that it's an image link. And that's showing it's probably showing like what the image alt text is. So that's an image link when you see that. From Aurelio. I would ask them about that, Aurelio. I don't use that too much. I do more like the link building process of SEO. From Marco. It could be, or the site you uploaded to was pretty penalized, Marco. It's pretty high demand authority, which means there's a lot of links going to it. High demand authority doesn't really mean it's a good site. It could have a lot of crappy links going to it. That would be my guess. From Paul. Yeah, that should be in the supremacy section, Paul, from Claude. I would not do that, Claude. If it already has 8,000 spam links, it's in trouble. For Mike. Yes, I believe so. I believe you buy Social Explosion once, and there's packages you buy for like ongoing monthly from Damien. I would set it up the same way I just showed Damien. So, like DelawareSEO.com, and then city here, and then town here if you want to do towns. Then everything else like would be ranked right here, like Delaware SEO. So the home page, DelawareSEO.com, I would rank for like Delaware SEO, Delaware Search Engine Optimization, Delaware SEO Expert. All that stuff would go to the home page, and then specific locations would go to wherever the location is. So, for example, I had Wilmington here before. If this was Wilmington, city was Wilmington, I would rank that for Wilmington, Delaware SEO, Wilmington, Delaware SEO Expert, stuff like that. All right. From Claude. No, I mean, I do use it when possible, Claude, but it depends how big the site is. And it's kind of just, it's helping your link juice flow better, Claude. But you don't have to use it. I don't use it on every site, but I try to when I can. But if you're not using it, I wouldn't like fret about it too much. From Brian. I mean, Russell and them know a lot more about that than me, and they wouldn't release it if so, Brian. Social links are usually pretty safe. But they do a lot of research on that, and I don't think they would release it. Alright, from Glenell. Good morning. Yep, they can be general themes, Glenell, and then you just use them like I show in the videos. You don't have to theme it. It can be a PBN about a general PBN, about dogs. You can link to something about dogs. You link something about painters. You link something about gold. They can be general PBNs. That's fine. I've been using them for a while. Is it necessary to use a P? Not sure what you mean by a P, Ken. From Claude. Yep, each time just change it up a little bit, Claude. That's right. And I cover that pretty deeply in the Sink or Swim video. From Daryl. I use GoDaddy auctions, Namejet, Snap. I use them all. I look at all the auctions. From Paul. But the best auctions, Daryl, are usually GoDaddy and Namejet. They usually have the most. From Paul. It has to be in that code, Paul. If it's not in that code, it's not being linked to. So you got to find it with the href in there. Yes. From Ken. I wouldn't say it's ever necessary, Ken. You don't have to. CC. It should be fine, CC. I personally like using unique content, just to be extra safe, but it should be okay. I don't know that for a fact, though, because I don't do it, so. I try to just teach what I do and I know 100% works, and not go off, what I think would work. So I don't want to say it'll definitely work because I don't use that myself. From Aurelio. I'm not sure, Aurelio, because they gave it to me to test and stuff, so I don't pay anything for it right now. But I would talk to them about the subscriptions, because I'm not sure exactly how that works. From Mike. Probably more of a case of anchor text problems, Mike, where you're too over optimized. Cause sometimes when I link with an anchor text that I've already used, it will drop it. So you got to be very careful with that. That's why I say mix it up as much as you can before using something twice. That would be my guess, but you never know. It could be something else. Neither of those things as well. From Paul. I use Jimmy. I mean, because I'm kind of partnered with him. But there's other people like in the group that do that stuff. From Ted. I'm not sure if they should have a video in their members area, Ted. From what I believe. I would ask Rustler, Sue, or Jimmy. Aurelio, I just use my brain, so I just kind of map out everything before, and I go from there. You know what I mean? So for like an e-cig site, we got like klks.com. I might have like electronic cigarette brands. And then all my electronic cigarette brands I know are going to go in here. Okay? And I might have like another. So I just set it up with my brain, kinda, right? I just know how it's going to be set up beforehand, and I make sure I think everything before I start the site. So I mean that's the way I do it. From Ken. There's not low competition keyword sites, Ken. It's what you use for the anchor text from your PBNs. All right. So hopefully that clears it up for you. It's not sites really that are. It's the anchor text you're using. So back to this example here. I would use this as an anchor text before I use this. Okay. So I'll start with longer, like trying to rank these longer keywords, and then move my way towards this one. That's what I was talking about with that. From Loretta. Probably Fiverr, Loretta. Probably the cheapest. From Nan. I will contact Mike about that, Nan. You can reach him at Mike is omg at omgmachines.com. He will help you out with with that stuff. He does all our site design. So from Bob. I don't really do long. I wouldn't do long tail for that. It would mostly be like product name with reviews, scam, bonus, stuff like that, which you already mentioned. And there's not really too many more that are going to be searched with that, especially with a new product. From Paul. I wouldn't say any of them are absolutely necessary, Paul. If you're on a budget, just do your PBNs and that's it. All right, PBNs with the free plugins, Link Juice Keeper. And that's it. I mean, next one would be Spider Spanker. That's a one-time cost of like $30 some, I believe. But all the other stuff is just kind of add-on. Like if you want a little more power, this is what you can do. But if you're on a shoestring budget, just do the PBNs. That's it. You're fine doing that. Trust me. From Trevor. Yeah, I usually do Trevor. I try to make sure they are getting some searches, but that's just me. From Danielle. I'll use it for my money sites usually, Danielle. The Google Sitemaps plugin, Google XML plugin. From Ted. I mean, for a new domain, I start sending PBNs to it, Ted. I mean, pretty much the same thing with expired domains. So my PBN kind of helps power it. From Claude. If it has 11,000 links, it's penalized. I can almost guarantee that, Claude. From Damien. I mean, it usually depends, but most likely I would start linking to whatever I want to rank first. And the reason I say it depends is if it was a huge site, I might link to the silo, so it passes on juice to what's in the silo, but for the most part, I would link to what I want to rank. From Nan. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely find good sites with domain authority 20, Nan. There's nothing wrong with starting there. They can definitely push power, so yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. From Jeff. What's going to rank you more, Jeff, is the anchor text. If you're linking to the video with anchor text. But embedding it, like sometimes I'll do embedding on sites that I'm not linking to it to just to get it embedded, and I think that does help a little bit. But I think the main thing that helps it rank is the when you're linking to the URL with anchor text. Yep, you can do that, Andrew. Tom. I will. Mm, I would either link to the home page, Tom. So I think you're talking about like, you know what? I would probably just do it to the home page, even though you don't got it in the URL. So, because I mean, I think you're trying to rank the home page for city SEO anyways, or state SEO, right? So since you're already hitting that with this, you're going to need variation anyway. So I would just do like state SEO services, state SEO expert, stuff like that. Okay. So wherever you're sending these keywords, if it's the home page, just try to rank it for all this stuff, because you're going to have to vary the anchor text anyways. So most likely I would just send that all to the home page, like those deep SEO keywords. And then if you're trying to do like Tom James SEO City, you'd cover all that city keywords at this URL. Alright, not the home page. But all the main keywords I would likely just send to the home page. And of course just switch it up a little bit each time. From George. I wouldn't have him do it all at once, not 150. Yeah, I would definitely have him do it a little slower, George. From Spencer. You can do it manually, Spencer, or you can use a service called Microsite Masters. That's what I use at least. There's also other services out there that will help track where your keywords rank. From Andrew. No, it's not the same, Andrew. It is, again, the direct link I think is more powerful, but embedding, I will use as well. That's all in the supremacy section, Gary. From Bill. I mean, just as hard as which you already did, Bill. It's not any harder. Well, I might have misunderstood your question. You're talking about like how to rank like SEO, like the keyword SEO. I mean, yeah, that's going to be hard. But I think that's what you were asking. From Daryl. As many as it takes, Daryl. As many as it takes. From Mike. Yep, I do that all the time, Mike. Where I'll have links from my PBNs going to sites that I don't really use as much anymore, and I'll just change them. Like I'll change them to new sites I have. So I go in and edit links all the time from my PBN. From George. I mean, you would just build links to the home page a lot, probably. Or, like what I said with this example here, like Delaware SEO, you would just go to right to this, right to city. You wouldn't do like city SEO. You wouldn't keep repeating city SEO. So you already have SEO in the description here, so you can just do city. You don't need to do SEO on the end. You know what Tom could do if he really wanted with his site is set up an SEO silo where on this page he would kind of describe what SEO is. He could target all these keywords at this URL instead, and then he could do city here if he really wanted to. It depends how big of a site he's trying to do. Most likely I would just do it to the home page, but he could also do like this. But what I wouldn't recommend is, like, if he's going to be doing a whole bunch of cities, like, keep doing city SEO over and over and over again. To avoid that, you would just set up an SEO silo and then just do all your cities here. That way you don't got to keep repeating this on the second level here. It's already there. It's already a silo. From Brian. I've never heard of it, Brian. I'll have to check it out. From Gary. I don't think it's probably in the supremacy section, Gary, I'm guessing. I don't know which exact video, though. I wouldn't worry too much about that, though. It's not. Just follow what's in the supremacy section. From Ken. Yeah, I mean, when I want to rank a YouTube video, sending PBN links to it can help it rank, Ken. That's when I would use it. From Brian. Yeah, I would say there is a danger, Brian. I use them for a couple of my sites, but I try not to use them for too many. I wouldn't use it for more than a couple. If you have like 20 sites and they're all on Google Webmaster Tools, I would say that's dangerous. I mean, it's just help categorizing your site, Patrick. Kind of telling Google what that post is about. And it's just giving them more information. From Tony. There's not really a bare minimum. I've showed this example many times. The Delaware Barbershop. I used one PBN to rank this site. Alright, it's a friend sites of mine. And it ranks for pretty much everything. Delaware Barbershop, Delaware Barbershops, best Delaware Barbershops, all that type of stuff. It's number one. I used one PBN for that, and it was, I think it was like a $12 PBN. So, I mean, bare minimum is one. You can rank stuff with one PBN. From Dietrich. I don't have experience with that, so I can't. I don't know exactly what you would do to use GSA to tier one because I don't use it for that. I use PBNs to my tier one. That's just me. So unfortunately I don't know the answer to that. Alright, so we got about 10 minutes, guys. I'm going to run to the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I tried my best to hold off till the end. Alright. So from Josh here. I wouldn't worry about that, Josh. I would just leave it. I mean, I've used it on a lot of mine. I don't use it anymore, though. I don't think it's a huge deal for the PBNs. From Philip. Here's a YouTube video for the people asking about cracking TLKT or TLTK. Right here. From Philip. Oh, sorry, it's when you're not using Kraken. From Julian. I mean, there's not really like a number I wouldn't recommend, Julian. It's just that I know from looking at most sites out there aren't using PBNs. They're kind of using, especially like these older sites, like a lot of client sites. They use stuff like article marketing, directories, stuff like that, and a lot of that stuff can be kind of toxic when it gets to the higher levels, with like the higher level linking. So I just kind of know just from looking from experience. But as far as like how many links like you can build like from a PBN, I wouldn't say there's a limit because those are higher quality links. All right, so it's different types of linking. So I wouldn't really say there's a limit, but I just know from experience that a lot of those type of sites just they don't use most sites don't use PBNs. They're using kind of old methods SEO. So from Aurelio. It depends what type of niches you're going after, Aurelio. Really depends on the niche. But most likely, I would just go after less competitive niches and try to get more kind of less powerful sites. Not less powerful, but just cheaper. I would spend more time in the research phase. From Danielle. I mean, I like putting the keywords I'm trying to rank for in my content, Danielle. But the main thing is the anchor text that you're using to link to it. You would, of course, want to use each of those two keywords as anchor text separately. Dietrich. I do have a video on this, Dietrich. I'm not sure exactly where David put it, but I do talk about penalties and seeing if the site's penalized and, my thoughts on that. So, from Gary. Lower domain PBN. I think you're talking about like lower domain authority. I mean, as long as they have healthy links going to them, that should be fine, Gary. From Damien. I don't know if we still have that list, Damien, because they haven't given me a new list in a while. I'll see if they can give me a new list. Last time I asked, they said they couldn't do it for some reason. So I'll ask them again and see if we can get a new list, because that video was older. From George here. Oops, let me zoom in. Alright, so tier 1 is like your money sites, George. So, people talk about tiers. You got like your money site, which is tier 1. Okay? And then if you're using like, let's do like Web 2.0s to link to your money site. So Web 2.0s will be linking to your money site. That's your tier 2. Okay? So when people talk about linking to their tier 2, they're talking about linking to these, which helps power this more, alright? Whereas when you're linking to your tier 1, that's your money site. You want to protect that tier 1. So you want to have your most high quality links going to tier 1. Whereas your tier 2, you can kind of hit with spammier links usually, depending what you're using them for, of course. But you can get away more with your tier 2 without affecting your money site. Alright? So tier 1 is just like your main money pages. From Tom. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that, Tom. I've seen some pretty crazy stuff from people that I've analyzed where I'm like, how are they not getting hit? And it's been working for them for a long time. Like, what we teach, we just try to make sure you're extra safe. So just keep that in mind. Like, what I always go over is because I just want people to make sure that they have the least amount of chance of getting hit as possible. So you can really take what I teach and kind of walk on it a little bit, like kind of bend the rules and be totally fine. I just show the way I do just to be extra safe for you guys. So yeah, what you're talking about, you can probably do just fine. From George. Oh, thank you, George. Appreciate that. From Tim. If you're talking about one-on-one coaching, Tim, I've never done that. Just because it wouldn't make sense for the price it would cost. But yeah, I don't have that right now. If that's what you're talking about. From Spencer. Not necessarily, Spencer. I mean, I've had money sites that are really small and money sites that are really big, and both have worked totally fine. I think there's one actually, an old example site. I don't know if it's still ranking or not. Let me check. Let's see. Yeah, here it is at number 2. So this is a money site from July 4, almost 2 years ago. This was one of the original OMG examples. It's number 2 for Seattle accountants still. This has one link to it, and it's 2 pages. Alright, so it's a tiny, tiny money site, 2 pages, and it's still ranking. So I mean, that's an example of a money site that's very small, and then of course CalCast is a money site that's fairly big. So There's not really a limit for Gary. Yeah, I know what you meant, Gary. And again, it depends on the niche. I would probably go after lower competitive, lower competition keyword niche, and kind of go after long tail keywords with more lower price PBNs. You know what I mean? Because you won't need as much power for those long tails, but at the same time you can really help them convert. From Nan. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking, Nan, but if it's not indexed, it means it's not going to show up in Google. All right. All right. So I'm gonna get this last screenshot here. I gotta run out today. So I'm gonna get this last screenshot, and then we'll wrap up. Looks like we're pretty much out of questions here, anyways. It seemed like a lot of people showed up for Sunday. Did you guys like Sunday webinars? I try to get days where a lot of people can make it. You're welcome, CC. From Philip. I thank you guys very much. I appreciate that. You guys have all been easy to coach, so. Okay, Grant says it is understanding site penalties. It's in the sidebar on the home page. Thank you, Grant. From Jeff. Not that many, Jeff, to be surprisingly. And that's why a lot of SEO people have problems. They don't control their links. When you use something like Magic or GSA to link to your home page, to your money sites, yeah, you can still rank them using it, but you have a lot greater chance of running into problems. And when you run into problems, it's a lot harder to fix because you don't control those links. So, Loretta, I don't. It doesn't mean it's right that I don't, but I don't personally. From Ken. Yeah, that's true, Ken. But at the same time, if you're linking out to something um, that's in the same niche, you can kind of fit in the YouTube video as well. You know what I mean? So if I'm linking to like a gold site, like I have a few gold sites. Okay, so if I'm linking to Gold Site 1 and Gold Site 2, what harm is going to be to throw in my YouTube video on gold, right? Because it's relevant, and at the same time, YouTube is very well trusted. So that's almost like an outbound authority link to my own video. You know what I mean? So I'll use like my videos to kind of work into stuff that I already have anyways. Like it's kind of like, in a way it's an authority link, and you're also helping yourself rank for your own thing. Alright, awesome. So that's it for questions today, guys. I'm going to wrap this one up. I would go a little longer, but it looks like we're out of questions, and I got to run out somewhere anyway. So I'm going to get this recording in the bag, and I will set my next webinar very soon. Alright, I'll probably set it this week sometime, and I'll put it up in the members area. Alright, guys, thanks for coming. I will talk to you all soon.